And it's like...
Hello.
Hi! Hello everyone!
Hello everyone!
Nice to see everyone today.
I'm Jay Kim and here is...
I'm Kaya Boyd.
She's African American.
Yes.
And I invited her today because I wanted to interview African Americans so much.
I'm really excited to be here, so thank you for inviting me, Jay. I don't know your audience, so this is my time to say hello, and I hope you guys enjoy this video as well.
So at first, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, why not? My name is Kaya Boyd. I am from America, Detroit, Michigan. I've been living in Korea since, well, I first came here in 2015, so I just tell people 2015.
Whoa.
And I am quite a few things here. I'm a singer in Korea, I'm a model, an actress. I'm also...
Actress too?
Yes.
That's so cool.
I'm also kind of like a student because I go to school online, and I'm a self-study Korean learner.
Wow.
And there's so many things happening in my mind right now, so I keep forgetting.
Why did you come to Korea?
Well, I came to Korea because I always tell people that my answer is I was kind of inspired by K-pop, but I don't really think that that was the real reason. I think it was because I felt like something in my life was missing.
Oh.
And it wasn't K-pop that was going to solve that, but I felt like some kind of independence and some kind of like life journey that I was on, just searching for a purpose. And it helped me to see the world and kind of see what other people see when they look at me, just see how the rest of the world operates. I wanted to kind of just find my place, and that's why I came to Korea. K-pop helped that.
Which group do you?
EXO.
Oh, which member?
So my name is Kaya.
Kai.
Kai. Oh my God, he
it's
can
really
dance
cool.
so well.
The next question is, have you ever dated Korean guy, and is there any differences compared to American?
To answer that question, yes, I have dated a Korean guy before, and there are quite a bit of differences culturally and mannerisms and different things like that compared to Korean guys. Definitely a lot going on there. The language barrier, if you're not great at Korean, but another problem, a big, huge problem is the cultural difference, not just between American culture, but African American culture. This is another world. So I find that a lot of Korean men can't understand or can't really comprehend African American culture. Sometimes it's unintentional, but they can be kind of disrespectful.
For example, what kind of?
Oh yes, so like hair, like African American hair culture. People in general don't know too much about like African hair. So the whole touching, the why does your hair do this? Why don't you straighten it? Why is it like this? It's really insensitive. And it's really hard to explain these kinds of things. I find that is really difficult for African American women or African women.
I think your hair is now like it's gorgeous.
Oh
It's not.
no, it's and that's the part. It's so hard to explain like how my hair is.
Yeah.
But thank you, I appreciate that.
I invite her because I want to talk about prejudice about African American in Korea. Have you ever heard the word 흑형 and 흑누나?
No, I've never
like
heard
흑
this.
brother and 흑 sister.
Oh wait, no, you're right. I'm sorry. I've never heard 흑형, but I've heard 흑누나.
How do you think about that word?
I just want to say I hate those words. I hear them and I instantly feel like kind of disgusted. I just don't feel like they have a good meaning behind it. I've never heard someone actually say it to me. I've just heard it in between conversations.
Yeah, sure. It's so common word. I will tell you what does the word mean. It's like Korean people think black people are physically superior, so it's kind of respect word, but it's so much racism. Many Koreans don't notice that this racism word. So
it could be a group of students talking maybe, or talking amongst themselves. And I've heard this word spoken. And a lot of the times they underestimate foreigners' ability to understand or to speak Korean. So I will say something like, don't be disrespectful. Like, that's gross.
yeah, don't use that word.
Don't ever use it. And if
Yeah,
you use it in front of
yes.
me, it's a problem. There's gonna be a fight.
If they accept that it's uncomfortable and it's not unrespectful, then you never use that word.
I agree, definitely.
Yeah, sure. For example, oh, I love your tiny single eye, so oh, you looks like adorable monkeys. Feel like that, right? The same thing.
Sometimes I've told my Korean friends, like, I love the way your eyes shape. I'll say, like, I love your eyes, like, they're so cute. I'm not trying to be offensive, I swear. I'm not being offensive, I hope not,
Racism?
please. I'm trying to respect. I like your eye shape, I promise.
Oh, adorable monkeys.
Oh my God. I hope no one ever says, I will never say that.
Okay, so another prejudice. Korean people think black people are good at singing and rapping and dancing and sports. Yeah, so how do you think about that? Do they really good at?
And it's like are so funny because they really relate to me, and I like the question sheet that you've prepared for me.
Okay.
As far as black people being like superior and all these things, I'm not one to say that. First of all, like I guess that's considered a compliment to black people, but when I listen to these kinds of things, it sounds more like a stereotype. Like we're good at dancing and singing and sports and all these things. Now, don't get me wrong, this is true. But it's not everybody, okay? Don't get me on the street and say, oh, I think you're a dancer. What? Not just dancer. They'll say, I think you can twerk. Like, they will say disgusting things like this. I will get so angry. Like, what? Why? Oh, sorry, never mind. Oh, yeah, because you realize how ignorant you sound. Like, this is your way of complimenting African people or African American people, but it's not a compliment. It's a stereotype, and it's a prejudice. It's really weird and uncomfortable. Do not just assume I can sing because of my skin color, or I can dance or do all of these things because of my skin color. I suck at sports. Do not ask me to play anything. Honestly, that's the worst thing. When anyone calls me Beyonce or Nicki Minaj, like I think when they say Beyonce, you're only saying because of my skin color, and that makes me angry. When you say Nicki Minaj, you're saying because of my body, and that's disgusting. So don't compare another black person to another black person that you've seen on TV. We don't look the same. We're not all the same. Don't do that to us.
You look like Psy. Can you dance Gangnam Style?
Can you do Gangnam Style? That's disgusting. Don't do that. We don't do that to you. Don't do that to us.
I went 노래방 last week with my black friend, and it was so bad.
Your ears are like, ah!
Oh, yeah. This question is important. Do you think there is still racism in America?
Oh, definitely.
Against black?
Definitely. That's not going away anytime soon. Or ever. There's definitely racism against black people in America. There's way too many issues that are still present, that are happening in front of the media and, not in front of the media. But people don't really like to talk about these things because it makes them uncomfortable.
Have you ever experienced that?
Oh, yes, of course. I chuckle because it's like, before it used to really make me feel sad. And there was a point in my life where, honestly speaking, I didn't want to be black anymore.
That's so sad.
I felt this when I was a lot younger. There was a time in my life where I was just kind of like, I wish I wasn't black. Like, I don't want to have to go through these things or deal with being looked at a certain kind of way. And I would think this, but over the last good 4 years of my life, I've gotten some awakening, and I've learned so much about myself, and I've learned I don't want to change for anyone just because people don't want to accept me, like, because of the color of my skin. That's your problem. That's not mine. And if you don't accept me, that's fine. I'm not here to please you. I'm here to live my life and be happy. So, hi.
Yeah. I like that. How about Korea? Have you ever experienced any discrimination because of your skin color in Korea?
Yes. Sadly, yes. But it's not surprising in a society where the lighter, the paler your skin is, the more you're accepted as beautiful. So yes, I've experienced it quite a bit. Even dealing with like entertainment, I noticed that some of the jobs that I went for with like modeling and even acting, they would pick me based on my skill and things like that. And they'd say, you're really good and we want you to be like the star of the show, but we have someone who is white, and even though their skills aren't as matched with yours, they look the part. And I've gotten turned down for quite a few things solely based on my skin color because it wasn't white enough for them. I deal with it from time to time with not so good people, like in some places where they will say or do something against me and it makes me uncomfortable. But it doesn't really bother me as much anymore because I've had to deal with this for pretty much all of my life. So you gotta develop some tough skin.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
Yeah, I hope that one day things in Korea will change to where I don't have to feel nervous about being, myself.
Yeah. If you want to be respected, you should respect other people first.
That's true.
Korean people are generally nice to other foreigners and other people, but they don't know what is the problem usually. So I don't know, I can ask this, but
it's okay.
For me, I think black girls are so beautiful, like Beyonce,
thank you.
Nicki Minaj. What do you think about the beauty of black people?
I think all black people are beautiful. I think black women, no doubt, like there's no arguing there. What makes black women so great, what makes us so great is that if we want to, we can wear our hair straight. If we want to wear our hair naturally curly, we just wash it and it's done. It's naturally curly. If we want to we can do anything we want with our hair, our clothes, clothes, our skin, everything. And I say our skin because that's what I like about being brown, because I don't know, but the way makeup goes on, the way it glows on our skin, just my skin in general, I love it. And I love all shades of black women. Black men are awesome as well. Like when black men go to all of these other countries, people are either fascinated or scared. And it makes me feel really sad for these people who fear black men just because of what they see on them in media. But black men are freaking cool to me because when I go to another country and I see a black man, in a way I feel protected. Like I feel like, oh, okay, cool. Like my people are here.
They have really good vibes.
I can make friends with almost any black male, black female that just comes my way. I love it.
I think maybe it's a little bit stupid question. Do you proud that you're African American?
I'm definitely proud to be African American. I have no choice. It's not like I can change my skin. I can't change myself compared to how I felt years ago about being myself. I definitely had some identity issues, and me and my blackness, we worked it out. And I love exactly who I am. I love being black. I love that black people are getting better representation throughout entire world, through the media, through some things, like even with the Marvel movie with Black Panther and that Get Out movie.
I love that.
That's so cool, right? Get Out played in Korea, and they're doing a good job by putting more black people in a good light, and then movies and in front of people who don't have much experience with black. Like, I'm proud of that, and I'm happy to be black, not just for those reasons, but because I don't think I was meant to have an easy life. I feel like I had to go through some hardships from being African American, and I still have a lot more to learn, and I want to educate people and kind of give people the right idea. Like, I don't want to misrepresent African. I love my people.
Oh, I'm so happy that you proud yourself.
Yeah.
I'm proud that I'm Korean too. Love yourself.
BTS.
BTS. So it's the last question. If there are people who are afraid to come to Korea, who are afraid that their skin color, can you tell anything for them?
Okay, so I would say if you're afraid to come to Korea because you think that your skin or your ethnicity will be a problem, don't be. Because one thing I can say is Korean racism is a little different from American racism. I'm talking about experience-wise. Like when I experience racism in America, I feel like I take it more personally. When I experience racism in Korea, it's kind of like, just brush it off. So I think that if you came to Korea, you would definitely enjoy it. There's so many lovely things about Korea that I love, and the people are great. The food is wonderful. Even the culture, their culture is really interesting. It's different, but it's interesting, and it's not too bad to adjust to. So I would say definitely give Korea a try. And if you encounter ignorant people or people that just give you a hard time, ignore them. And I know that sounds easier said than done, but ignore them and go about your life and, prove to them, prove to yourself that you're better than that. They don't define you. Who cares? So one teeny person's thinking, oh, your skin color. So what?
Yeah, so what?
Oh, well,
Yeah.
can still, since you have these stereotypes, I can still dance and sing and
I
do
can
all
still-
these things.
Yeah, it's still beautiful and wonderful. So thank you for answering me all the questions. It was really good answer, and I'm so impressed about that. And
I'm so glad that I could kind of educate and give my responses on that, because I feel like there's not a lot of African American representation here. So I'm so happy I could do that.
I will come back with another content. So
Bye.
thank you. Bye bye.
Bye everyone.
Bye bye.
Happy to meet you. Something good. That one looks great. I'm probably gonna steal that one for my